In this video, I'm going to share with you the biggest thing, the most important thing you could do right now in this stage of the journey. And I'm talking about you individually. There's a lot happening collectively, but you need to focus more on what's happening within now. And this one thing is going to really start to free you from that 3D timeline. And it's going to start to allow you to perceive up through the fourth dimension and the fifth dimensional timelines as more of them become available. It's so important to realize that you are the one that's keeping yourself locked into a lower frequency timeline by constantly entertaining the thoughts of the ego. And we go through these expansions, right? We're getting all this high frequency light, all this amazing energy, and it creates a lot of space. And if you honor that space, it allows you to really release a lot of the dense energy that is coming up to be seen and to be felt. But so many times we often ignore that opportunity to release. We're just not focused in on that, right? We're not aware of it. We get like unconsciously drawn into the old ways of thinking because that's just what we know, right? You're so comfortable with thinking a certain way and looking for problems that you could then solve that oftentimes you forget to be aware of what's happening on the energetic side because everything is energetic. And what I want to share with you is what's been coming up within me with these energies. And I know I talk a lot about ascension symptoms and a lot of physical ascension symptoms, but this one is more of an energetic or a mental symptom that is happening right now. And that is you are being bombarded by old energetic aspects of you that were created by scenarios, situations, traumas from your childhood. Some of these may overlap into other lifetimes or other realities, but sure enough, now in a big way, they are coming forward because this high frequency light is so expansive that it's almost like all of these traumatized aspects of you can just kind of pop up all at the same time. Okay. And from the human perspective, from your day to day perspective, you may feel these bouts of anxieties, these bouts of stress come up kind of out of nowhere. You can't quite put your finger on why it's happening, but that's because a lot of these wounded soul fragments are rising up to be experienced. And you have the power right now to really alchemize so many of these soul fragments all in one swoop. And all it takes is for you to just recognize what in fact is happening. I'm going to explain that to you right now. So from all of these wounds, right, they've been unconscious. Your body's been holding on to them tight, kind of like an old blanket. And the more it holds on to that, the smaller you become, the less worthy you become, the less confident you become, the less safe you tend to feel, okay? And it's been taking all of these traumas, all of these wounds, all of these fragments, and kind of holding them like in this corral for years, if not decades of your life. And that's really created this weight that's been unseen, this unconscious weight that's been keeping you from it really expanding into the multidimensional you. It's been keeping you living the same life over and over and over again, much like Groundhog Day. I've used that analogy in the past. But what happens is, along your journey, you may have memories pop up of a trauma, and you may be like, okay, I know where that came from. I was triggered, and that was a reflection of this trauma, and I'm going to sit with that. I'm going to feel that. But right now, things are moving so fast that a lot of this stuff's happening on the fly. It's happening all at once. Like I said earlier, a lot of wounds are rising up. These fragments are coming up all to be seen. They're popping their little heads up like this and asking you to just really love all of them. But the mind, what it wants to do is try to isolate each one of those and figure out where the heck it came from. Well, you can let go of that. Right now, what you're being asked to do is to let go of the story, to move forward without having to know exactly where the trauma came from, okay? When you could start to let go of having to know where the trauma came from, and I know a lot of people will do past life regressions. They want to know what's causing all of these situations in their life, and they go ahead and do that. And if you do that, that is great. That is fantastic. I just want to let you know that that's more of a supplemental thing. When you start to think about it from the energetic perspective, you don't really need to remember or know where that comes from, because when you finally start opening up into higher states of being, higher states of consciousness, all of that stuff's going to come into your experience. So from a 3D level, you really don't need to know that. All you need to know is something doesn't feel quite right, right? And the ego is going to be like, well, where's that from? And you're going to say, it doesn't matter where it's from, because you know what? It may not be, and it's likely not from one thing, from one experience, from one trauma. It's many. Remember, think of these soul aspects as like they're popping their little head up all at once, and you can't quite pick one out, but yet you could feel all of them because you have this sense of being unwell, not being safe, not feeling seen, not confident, not worthy, not being loved. Whatever, however it's manifesting, right? Whether it's conscious or unconscious, doesn't matter. All you need to do is remember that this is an energetic clearing, and you can let go of having to know what's causing it. If you can work on letting go of having to know what's causing it, think of all the energy that was going in to try to figure that all out. Think of all that energy that is now available to you to just create that space and let it go and be like, okay, I'm feeling all this. Mark says, I know it's probably a lot of these soul aspects energetically, dense aspects energetically that are coming up to be seen and felt right now. I'm going to do that by breathing into my heart space, and I'm going to hold just a tremendous amount of space for all of these aspects, okay, without having to know who's who or where it came from. Remember, I've talked about in past videos how my guide once showed me an open door, and behind that door were a bunch of different beings. Some looked human, some didn't, but they were all lined up, and I remember asking him, what is going on? And he said, Mark, those are aspects of you that are all waiting to be seen, to be felt, okay, to be healed. So it's like the door bursts open now, and you're inviting them all in at once because you have the power to alchemize all of this just like that. You don't have to go one by one by one like I initially saw. The energy's different now, okay, where you have the ability to just blow this thing wide open and just allow all of these wounds, all of these aspects, these fragments to rise up to be seen. And yeah, that's not going to feel good because that's how you feel it. You need to actually experience it, right? Can't do the healing work, can't do the shadow work without feeling this. But the secret is, the trick is to let go of having to know where it came from. Okay, I've repeated that multiple times in this video because that is so, so important. Let go of the need to know where this dense energy, these traumas, these fragments, what created them. It's not important. Just feel them. Allow them to come up into your experience. Okay, when they come up into your experience, they move through your body. Your field starts to get affected by it. It wobbles it initially, right? But you have enough consciousness now, you're present enough to be able to feel the wobble and allow it to happen. Feel it. Breathe with it. Use your breath to restabilize your field. Control your breath. Slow it down. Your brain waves will slow down. Your heart, your brain will move into coherence. And all of these aspects that were stuck in your nervous system, remember, being held closely, tightly in your nervous system, will start to come out now. You will feel them. They will rejoin the party. You will start to feel more complete, more whole, more confident, more worthy, more loved, more compassionate. Okay? And you're going to start to match those frequencies, and you're going to attract more of your higher self. It's going to come in and land because all of that space, that corral that was filled by these old soul fragments, dense soul fragments, it's now clear. So more of your higher self can land, and that is going to move through your central channel and reflect out into your field, reflect out into your reality. And you're going to start to really move along this journey at an accelerated pace and start to unlock the magic that is the multidimensional you. All right? So important to just do that one thing. Allow yourself to feel this without having to know where it came from. We don't need to know what the source is. We just need to know that it's present right now and it's asking to be seen and it's asking to be felt. If you could start operating from that perspective, you are going to take off like a rocket ship on this journey and leave those old third dimensional timelines behind. You're going to start to move up through 4D very, very quickly and start to really integrate and experience a lot of the 5D Earth, the new Earth. It's going to start to reflect. You're going to start to experience it all around you with people you come into contact with. You'll start to attract your tribe. You'll start to see it in nature. You'll start to see that animals are going to start to interact with you differently. The world is going to start to interact with you differently because you are no longer reflecting an old, outdated timeline. You are now starting to manifest a higher frequency one.